Okay, so I saw this post that said one artist in their entire discography must go Very Impossible Edition. So, I mean, yeah, this is very easy. So, I'm going to give you guys my pick and then I'm going to rank the discographies, as told. So, my pick is going to be Doja Cat for Who Can Go and Why is she going. I have not listened to her full discography, so I don't feel like I'm missing a whole lot and everything. Her whole discography could be very great for what I know. I'm just saying, I've finished everybody else. I know more of what I'm missing, okay? So, I like her songs. I like her singles, her album tracks. I listened to What Planet Her. I wasn't fond of her album tracks, but that's the only album I've listened to, so I'm not gonna know what I'm missing if I take her off. That's kind of how I see it. And then the next person that could go for me, honestly, would probably be Rihanna. Honestly, now Rihanna, she has an up and down discography. I will say that. But when you gave me Loud, which had Complicated, it had Fading. I like Cheers, Drink to That. So she had good songs off that. California King Bed. You had stuff like Anti. I like her version of Same Old Mistakes. I love Consideration with SZA, who's here as well. And James Join is such a good song. So she had moments on there that I like as well. Good Girl Gone Bad, obviously a classic. She had all the hits, Disturbia and, Fuck Chris Brown. I really liked Take a Bow as well. That was a great song. Umbrella, Shut Up and Drive. I mean, that album was really chock full of hits. So Rihanna has some solid albums. She has some solid albums. I still have my skips on those albums, but she has some good work, But then her first two albums didn't move me. I think that was it called Rated R is overrated. I do like Talk That Talk. Talk That Talk was decent, but I'm not running it back enough to keep her on this list as well. I'm trying to think if I forgot any of her other albums. I don't think I forgot anything. If I did, let me know. But that's kind of my thoughts there. Rihanna has some songs that I love. Get It Over With might be my favorite Rihanna song of all time now, honestly. But yeah, Rihanna would be next on the chopping block. And then, this is actually where it gets hard for me because I love SZA and I love Ariana Grande both so much. But you know what? I think SZA, she would be next on the chopping block. And I just love Ariana Grande's discography so much. And there's just certain songs it would be very hard to let go of. But SZA's no slouch, Control, a classic, as I've discussed, stuff like Broken Clocks. I also really liked Go Gina. Supermodel was a really good way to open off this album as well. Prom is like my favorite SZA song of all time. So I'm fond of those particularly, but, it's chock full of great songs. And then you also had to look at stuff, with what she did with SOS. Blind, Snooze, Shirt was a great song off of that album. Nobody Gets Me as well, like another album, So both of them are solid albums and everything. But I also have to look at it the way of Ariana has more albums, So SZA's put out only quality work. My favorite R&B girl right now, so that's why she would be next. And then Ariana, she's, the crown jewel for me out of this list. Not saying that Ariana necessarily has a better discography than SZA. Ariana has more work and everything. SOS and Control are probably better than Ariana's best albums, if I'm being honest. But Ariana has a little bit more material. And I'm just fond of Sweetener. It really comes down to that album for me. That's really carrying her on this list, if I'm being honest with you guys. But, she had to Get Well Soon. Maxing Out Pro Tools was insane. Rem is my favorite Ariana Grande song all time, probably. And then you had some other good stuff like Every Time, Good Night and Go, No Choose Left to Cry was insane. It was just, refreshing for her, and I think she needed that, as I said before. And then whenever we're looking at Eternal Sunshine, I like stuff like Supernatural and The Boy Is Mine, and the intro was really good on this album too as well. Bye, Don't Want to Break Up Again. Like, I thought it was a solid album. Positions hasn't aged the best for me, but Positions a song, I still love it. You have Obvious, you have POV, you have Shut Up. If we look at the deluxe, you got Worst Behavior, you got Test Drive. Like, I got options, okay? I got options. Her first album, not my favorite, but it's still decent. You had Lovin' It, you had The Way, you had Honeymoon Avenue, you had Tattoo Heart. Like, every album, she's gonna give you 4 or 5 songs. Just like, damn, I love those songs, okay? And just the nostalgia I have with her, I've been following her since she started putting out music. I've listened to every single album as it's came out. So you have that. I forgot about Dangerous Woman. That was a good album too. If we're looking at Sometimes, Into You, one of the best pop songs of all time. Be Alright was a really good song too. I'm about to start streaming these songs after I do this video. I can't even lie. So yeah, My Everything, Break Free. I really love that song, so I have to have some appreciation for that. Thank You Next. I love Imagine. Yeah, like every album or two, she's gonna have those songs that I forgot to talk about. Baby I. Like, she's just gonna have those songs, And that's why Ariana takes it for me. So yeah, let me know who is gonna go out of these. Like I said, for me, it's an easy decision. But we can continue that down below in the comments.